Why is a woman considered pure if she doesn't want sex? And why is same woman considered immoral if she wants sex? So about 8 months ago, yeah, I think I was, manipulated, talked into starting a series of articles that explored women's, sexual liberation and why women shouldn't use their sexual freedom and all of that. And I was talked into this by a man, all right? And at the time, I didn't have, any ideas about it. I didn't have aspects. I knew the word sexual freedom existed, but it wasn't like a topic I'd explored. So in the course of that conversation leading to me writing the articles, he kept telling me why women should be conserved, why they shouldn't, express or use their sexual freedom. And as someone who, comes from a very religious background, everything he said was valid to me. And secondly, it was the only aspect I had to it. Like when you're presented with something you do not, have angles to, and then you're presented with one angle. So that was all I had to run along with. So, but in the course of writing the articles, I started having serious reevaluation. All right. And the things I was, saying weren't making sense to me. So I had to like start rethinking. And then I wrote some articles, but with the kind of exposure I have to things now and how far I had studied into the subject, I wouldn't write it the way I did write it at the time. At least I would have like, given a more balanced, research work. That's by the way. Then after that, I started to think really hardly. Like I haven't, stopped bothering about the issue because it was a man that wanted me to write it. All right. If it were a woman, trying to talk to me about it, this, that, I could actually like, listen and be like, okay, this is a woman. And if this woman is well informed, of course, why wouldn't I? But a man telling me, using me as a tool, you understand, to tell women to not express their sexual freedom. It was something I had to like look again at, all right? And to think that the entire thing he told me about wasn't really about, sexual freedom involving, consent, making sure that everything you do sexually is like your choice, right? Everything he was about women having this freedom where they can just like decide to just have sex with any man they choose to have sex with. Where women are now like learning about their bodies and it's breeding immorality. And all the things he was saying were things men already do, and no one like looks at men and just be like, this thing you're doing is ugly. So why is it ugly when it is a woman doing it? Do you get? So when I started like looking into all of it, I realized that this sexual freedom thing doesn't just talk about the recklessness of sex, right? For women, it's talking about, and then the term sexual liberation. In other words, there was a time women were not sexually liberated. Like you were just allowed to take what you were given. You didn't have to have a say in it. So this entire series of Vain Intercourse from now on is just about me exploring the entire issue concerning women's sexual liberation. So I would like really like you to stay with me, all right, on this course, and so we can learn together, all right, so we can learn together because this has stuck with me like you could imagine how long it's been. It's been like a long stretch, and I really want to talk about it. Like I am studying it, I want to talk about it, and I'm sure women also want to talk about it. All right. So just join me in this journey. All right. I'll be like, putting out videos and then tell me what you think about it. All right. Thank you.